Hey friends, it's David D at PRM, and this is part 2 of Andrew Yang Visits the Humanist Report. Okay, so Andrew Yang visited the Humanist Report. I believe he's the only presidential candidate to visit the Humanist Report, or at least the first one in the 2020 cycle, so that's pretty cool. And I cherry-picked some things they talk about, and I'll go over them here with you. So they talked about the minimum wage. Andrew believes that UBI of $1,000 a month is an effective raise on the minimum wage. So it would be like somewhere between $6 and $7 an effective raise for workers if they were getting $1,000 a month, and if they were making $7.25 an hour. So if you're making $7.25 an hour and you get a UBI of $1,000 a month, it basically means you're making $13-14 an hour now. Okay, so he wouldn't raise the minimum wage, and there's been speculation that Andrew Yang wants to abolish the minimum wage. That he's a far-right libertarian. It's a Trojan horse and all this other conspiracy crap. It's not true. In fact, Andrew said something to the effect, quote, "If UBI wasn't in the picture, I would raise the minimum wage," end quote. So he is pro minimum wage. He doesn't want to lower it, and he doesn't want to raise it only through the means of UBI. So break that down any way you want. I don't think that's far right libertarian at all. But I don't know, people saying he is. Anyway, what else? Mike Figueredo, the host of the Humanist Report, asked Andrew, why not tailor UBI to fit existing social programs? Why make it either or? Why make it an opt-in? And Andrew gave a pretty long answer, and it basically boiled down to this. It's more achievable. So Andrew believes the opt-in is more achievable, and I believe that Andrew believes it's more achievable because of the Republicans. If I know my Republicans, they are not going to go for UBI on top of social safety net benefits. There's no way. So I believe Andrew curtailed the UBI as an opt-in program as a way to appease Republicans because they're just not going to go for it. But at the same time, maybe Andrew should set the bar up a little bit higher. So if he takes a compromise, it's not going to be down to the ground. So Mike Figueredo talked about Andrew setting the bar kind of low with the Medicare for All public option. It's kind of the same thing here. Why not shoot for UBI and social safety benefits, safety net benefits, until you take a compromise on that, which would be an opt-in. So Mike Figueredo made some great points about how Andrew should be maybe setting the bar a little bit higher for his proposals, because once again, when these proposals meet the Republicans, they're likely going to get slashed, okay? Bipartisanship compromise is just what we do, and I don't foresee that changing, so it's a valid argument in my opinion. But basically, Andrew thinks it's the most achievable way of getting UBI is to make it an opt-in program. Okay, moving on. Mike was rather impressed with many policies that Andrew Yang proposes. They did a quick purview over his website. A few things Mike liked was the legalization of weed, lowering the voting age to 16, net neutrality, and a bunch of others. But one policy gave Mike Figueredo significant pause, and they opened it up a little bit for dialogue. And it was a policy called automatically sunset old laws. Mike said something to the effect that, what if you implement UBI and then down the road the Republicans bring this up for a review? Okay, the policy sunsetted. The Republicans are in control of all three branches, and they have power to basically remove UBI. That's a significant concern because it would be UBI would be a very temporary thing if we were to implement some policy, some law that automatically sunsetted most important laws. So that was a valid concern. And Andrew said something to the effect that it's not about anti-public protection, it's more about efficiency and accountability. So I believe Andrew's his motives are good here. I believe they're genuine because there's a whole bunch of laws. There's tens of thousands of laws, and some of them are antiquated. They need to go away. They need to be reviewed. So I understand the integrity of going over some laws here for the fact that we don't use them, we don't need them, and it's like cleaning house. Like I get it. I get where he's going. I get where he's coming from. But there's so many caveats about big important policies like UBI, like that if Republicans get control, what's going to happen to UBI? What's going to happen to Social Security? What's going to happen to so many things if everything's set up with a sunset provision? That's very concerning. So I believe Andrew's intent is good here. Like he believes it's a positive thing to review and just kind of like remove what we don't need and see if we still want these laws. I get that, but it could be problematic to things like UBI if Republicans got hold of it. So that's still open-ended. I'd like to hear some more on that. But anyway, I'll leave it off there. I'll leave the link down below. Let's get talking about this. It was a good interview. And make sure you like, share, subscribe, and click the bell on the side.